Hello and welcome to the Design Masterclass with the wonderful and very legendary Rachel Norris. Hello, my darling.
Hello, Jenny. It was so lovely to be with you today.
I know, I'm so excited too. I love you. I'm so inspired by you, and I really think you are one of the most amazing designers. And if you are with that mind frame as well, we're going to show you how to create in the style of Rachel Norris. We're going to have some different techniques and see all of Rachel's wonderful, wonderful designs. Of course, we know Rachel has had her pieces in many magazines over the years, and of course in the V&A Museum. So let's get started and show you exactly what you're going to get today. I'm going to bring you the right tools and the right strands, and then we're going to go on over to Rachel and check out her wonderful, mind-blowing designs. And if you want a piece of the Rachel Norris pie, just like I do, then stay exactly where you are. Now, of course, if you want to create gorgeous designs, you're going to need the right tools. As well as the wire, you do need your tools, of course. Now I've got for you the nylon jewel pliers. The nylon jewel pliers are essential if you're using coloured wire, not only because of the ease of use and how they manipulate the wire in such an amazing way, but because they protect the wire from tarnishing. That nylon coating is there to give you that protection, an essential tool for twisting the wire, for turning the wire, once you've made your loop, for turning, and so many other things, which I'm sure Rachel will talk us through a little bit later. But for now, I'm going to bring you the nylon jewel pliers, and my, oh my, are you going to make a massive saving on this gorgeous bundle. Your ring mandrel, of course, is essential if you are creating rings and you want perfection. We all started off, didn't we, creating rings over those big old permanent markers. I mean, I did. But you know what? When you need sizing, it's absolutely essential to get the ring mandrel. Here's what it looks like. So you've got all those rings, give you the appropriate ring sizes. So you know if somebody's asked you to make them a ring, you know you can get their size correct. Not just that, but you know the ring is going to be perfect at the end of it. Of course, when you are twisting wire and you're using a lot of pressure and a lot of technique, you might have to start off a couple of sizes bigger. There's no way you know how to do that unless you've got the sizes there on the mandrel. It's here for you. So you've got two essential tools. We will give you the wire in just a second. The code for you is DYGC08. Normally that ring mandrel on its own is £8.95. So for £9.95, I mean the nylon coated pliers are literally essential. And you know what, it's not just about the fact that they protect your they protect any color that's on your wire, but also about the grip, about how this tool is jewelry maker specific, so you know it's been designed to do a particular job. When you look at the grippers on the actual tool itself, anyone that has been working with jewelry at all, just doing things like repetitive things like snipping open a jump ring or snipping your beading thread, if you're doing those, you need the right tool with the right comfort grip, because otherwise you get achy palms. At £9.95, of course, with this deal you still do get a 30-day money-back guarantee. While stocks are available, 0800 644 655 or the w.jewellerymaker.com. And now you've got the right tools. You're going to, of course, need the wire and the strands that Rachel's using today. So you have got 0.4 wire. You've got 100 meters of that, and it's in silver. Now this silver wire is real silver on copper, and then you've got the e-coating. Now e-coating is such a wonderful thing right now, because e-coating not only prevents your colour from tarnishing, but it also makes whatever you've designed hypoallergenic. So anybody who says to you, oh, you know what, I'm a little bit itchy about using anything other than real silver or real gold, just let them know that your findings, your pieces that you've created have had that e-coating. You can download more information from our website if you want to show that to your clients and customers. Tools are still available for you. Those codes are on the bottom of your screen. So you have got the 0.4 wire. 100 meters goes ever such a long way. 0.4 wire will just about go through a pearl most of the time. 0.4 wire is great for rosary linking. It's great for doing the finer detailed weaves and much, much more, which we'll talk to Rachel in a little bit. Now you've also got your 1mm wire. 1mm wire is more structure. 1mm wire, of course, is more robust. It is great for creating framework. You can flatten your 1mm with a hammer as well if you've got the chase hammer. You can make those big sturdy pieces with your 1mm wire, and then your 0.4 over the top to weave in and out. Lots and lots of techniques, which I'm sure I'm missing out, but it's also great and absolutely perfect for creating rings. Now, the wires on their own would cost you more than £40. And don't forget, real silver on copper and all E-coated. So you have got over £40 worth of wire. Not just that, because I'm also going to give you 4 wonderful strands. And believe me, when you see what Rachel's designed, you want this. Not only do you want it, you need it. Come and have a look. You have got the quartz all-stars. The clarity on these beautiful gemstones is heavenly. I love the quartz all-stars because you know, if you're not confident with putting colour together, it's all done for you. And these pastel colours work so well. You've got in that quartz all-star strand, rose quartz, preonite, citrine, and amethyst. Then you've got, have a look at this gorgeous fresh colour. Then you've got jadeite, 4mm jadeite. We don't often have a lot of jadeite, isn't it pretty? Such a fresh colour, isn't it? Cat's eye green. Have you ever seen those silvery cats with those most amazing green eyes? That's what that colour reminds me of. You've also got green aventurine, faceted 3mm rounds. And you've got your lemon quartz 8mm rounds. Now, the lemon quartz clarity is exceptional. Look at that, it's so fresh. Absolutely beautiful. 4 strands. I'm not done there, I'm not done there. How about some sterling silver beads too? Why not? Let's have a look at these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they're sterling silver. And let me tell you, they're a substantial gram weight of sterling silver as well. Any element of sterling silver could up the value of your jewellery, couldn't it? And to have 5 of them in such detail, we're going to show you exactly how Rachel's incorporated all of these elements into her beautiful designs in just a mo. IUG C83 is your item code. 5 sterling silver floral beads. 2 reels of 100 meters of wire, so 200 of course in total, 0.4 and 1mm, worth over £40 on its own. 4 gorgeous strands in those beautiful pastel summery shades. 5 sterling silver gorgeous beads. 1 very, very low price tag, limited edition, and it is while stocks last. $69.95. This would cost you normally almost £80. Right now, £69.95 is your price tag. Can you make a profit off of that? You've got a lot of wire. Can you create designs just like Rachel Norris has? Absolutely. But this is while stocks last. And anybody that is truly inspired by Rachel need wait no longer, because that's exactly where I'm going right now. Now, you know as I do that the inspiring designs that this wonderful lady does are just mind-blowing. We are all extremely inspired by Rachel Norris, and I would love to learn exactly how she does those wonderful designs. Rachel, I love it. Jenny. It's so gorgeous. Hello. Oh, lovely to see you. Now, you are such an inspiration to so many jewellery makers out there. Your designs have been, as I said earlier in the V&A, your designs have been, you've won awards, you've been on terrestrial TV channels, you really are an outstanding jewellery maker. Now, your work isn't just about jewellery, it's about art, isn't it?
It is wearable art. Inspired by my mother, who was an artist, and my grandmother, who was an artist. So it's that sort of thing is.
It's in your bones.
In the family.
It's in the bones.
Yes.
Now, have a look at what Rachel has designed, and you are going to want to do it. Believe me, you. This necklace just like I said, isn't just jewellery, it's a work of art. Now, we're going to show you the ring. The necklace is a feature piece to show you in a larger scale what can be done with this kit. Now, your rings, as if you're going out of here without me stealing one of these. Have a look. Oh, I love them. I just love them. So pretty. Can you imagine being able to sell something like this? And Rachel, you do sell your jewellery on. How much would you sell something like this for?
Well, I think you've got to factor in, I mean, it's only a few little gemstones and a tiny amount of wire. It's the time you take to make them, but I can get them down to about an hour now to making one of these. So it's how much you sort of factor in. I think probably sort of £28 would be reasonable. And if you've got
reasonable, brilliant value.
And then sterling silver, you use sterling silver, you'd obviously have a bit more of a price on them. But if I can make that in an hour, it's basically how much you factor, how much you pay yourself in an hour.
Okay.
You know.
Well, I definitely pay 30, 35, 40 pounds, something like this. So let's get started. We want to get in as much as we can in the short hour that we do have with Rachel. So let's get started. We're going to create the silver ring, are we?
The ring itself, yes. The ring itself costs about sort of 80 or 90p to make. I mean, something
90p
like that. Really
to make, you reckon?
Nothing to make, really, as if you know, cost of materials. So,
fantastic.
So I'm using a short length, a very short length of 1mm wire, and it's about sort of, I would say about 20 to 30 centimetres.
So about, what was that, about 8 inches?
Let's go for 16 inches.
No, it's not 16 inches.
I cut it down, use a little bit too much and then cut it down, that's absolutely fine.
Always do that, use more rather than less, because then you don't have to add in.
You will cut bits off it, it's just easy to manipulate actually. And then use a much longer length of the 0.4mm wire.
Bit more than a whole hand's arm span.
Like almost 2 metres, because I like to use a continuous piece of wire through the whole piece. And
because
then
it flows better?
Yes, and you've not got lots of ends to tuck away. I've designed this so it flows through the whole piece. You're working with one piece of wire through the whole piece.
If I haven't judged correctly,
you can add in.
Is there a problem?
You've just got to add in and tuck in the end.
So
basically.
It's not a major, but it's just easier if you do get it right from the beginning.
Yes, and if you find it tangles and it messes up, then cut it back and then add in another bit.
Fab. Right, so we're going to go from about here.
Leaving about an end of about 20 centimetres, 15 to 20 centimetres, start to wind. We want to create about a 16mm length of coil. You can see that there along the wire. So in the central point on the 1mm wire, just start to wind.
So that's all freehand coiling that you're doing, nice and tight, keeping the tension and bringing it in towards the left at the same time.
Yes, use your fingers just to sort of press this in and bring it round. Wind round and round and round until you've got about a 16mm length. This is enough to encase one of the larger beads in this bundle. You might need slightly less for a smaller bead, for example. Okay. So I'm just going to pick up the next, I'm going to pick up the other piece if you don't mind, and we can move straight on to the 16mm
Absolutely, right,
length.
So you've done that, and here's one that Rachel's made earlier. So just basically continuing that, exactly that technique, and just so that we can get as much packed into the hour as possible for you.
I want to be able to show you as much detail because there's a lot going on further on. So we're now going to create a little sort of enclosure around the ring, like so. And this is a technique you can use for stacks of different things. I embed designs like this in resin, for example. Oh, it's gone. Use another one.
That happens to me all the time.
Bend this round and basically
I'm glad that happened to you, because I thought it was just me that was the clumsy jewellery maker.
And on the longer piece of wire, thread the gemstone on, and this means that when we do the technique of threading the wire through, you won't strip the plating off the wire, basically.
Okay.
So I thread it onto the longer piece of wire.
Okay,
I've kinked it, so I'm going to cut that off.
Okay, so if that's another reason to get that extra length. Is if you get kinks, you can just snip it off, and you don't have to panic.
No, you don't have to panic.
That you haven't got enough wire. There you go.
So I've threaded that onto the longer length of wire, and I'm going to thread the other shorter length of wire through the other side.
Okay,
and that means you don't strip, because you've got a sort of 2 wires in the same hole there. You can strip the colour off the wire if you're pulling the whole length through.
Okay.
So I'm just lessening the likelihood of that. I put through both sides and I'm pulling quite tight to pull that in.
Okay.
And it starts to enclose.
And we're creating
a little sort of border, little enclosure for the wire.
We're creating the frame. Just at this moment, can you see around the gemstone? Isn't that wonderful? It just holds on to it. This is a lovely design, Rachel.
And what I've done is I've just stroked these away so I can just work with these wires a bit more easily. And I'm pulling that quite tight because I want to have that sitting as close in as possible. I'm winding a couple of times round this wire and on the other side to secure it. And what we're going to do is keep on going.
Okie dokie.
That's great. And then keep on going round and we're going to create that little frame. And keep on winding around. And if I do this one, we can move, if we start...
Hugging it.
Yeah. And I'm just going to just start moving this wire, pushing it around the gemstone, just so I've got an idea of where they cross over. You can see that?
Yeah.
Because I want to actually just start to make a little...
It's like, do you remember watching Heartbeat when you were little and he used to be doing, Tony Hart would do crazy things, you think, where's it going? It's all becoming, it's all becoming clear.
We're going to create this sort of shape now with this
Can we just show
shape.
That to Tom?
There we go.
There we go, Tom.
There we go.
Fabulous.
So across the wires over, and
Okay.
then with the pliers, I'm just doing a little right angle. Spend a bit of time getting this right angle shaped up so it's nice and even, and it won't look even to start off with because I've done this quickly without really. I'm doing it to camera. I'm not looking at it closely.
It's very difficult actually.
Yeah. So push this back.
Yeah.
Push this back. Have this close in.
Okay.
And then spend a bit of time to make sure these are balanced up.
Mm-hmm.
You might need to adjust that a little bit. If this starts slipping round, you can just adjust this quite easily because at the moment you can still manipulate it. Move this around a bit, and then just keep on winding around until you get to a point where you've actually wound to the point at which you've got the little right angle.
Okay.
I'm just going to move on to the next stage. So I'm going to do that on both sides, wind round and round and round till we get to the end here. So I'm just going to move on to that now.
Absolutely. So if we can show the one, so let's, oh no, it's okay, Claire,
yeah,
because
I've got that one, you see.
We've got one we made earlier.
I did try.
We have one we made earlier. I'm trying very hard not to touch it too much. Here we go. There we go, look.
So I've wound round until I've got to the end here.
Okie dokes. So all the way around, and then you've made the most incredible frame. It's very, very neat.
And if you feel that it bends out of shape, you can just press it against a hard piece of wood and just manipulate it back into shape if you feel it's not
That won't damage it in any way?
If you have it on a piece of wood rather than
metal.
metal.
So a hard surface.
Yeah, wood is quite good because it's got some sort of...
It's got a give, and it's got a little bit of give. So maybe like a chopping board or something like that.
It's quite good to actually just press that into shape. Now you've got basically an enclosure here, and we've got one short end of wire and one very long bit of wire.
Okay, so still your thinner wire is much longer.
Yes, so we're going to leave that and work with that later. But I'm just going to start doing the ring shank weave. Now we want to make this quite a little bit straighter.
So you're just tapping
along, and you can pull with your fingers. Can you see to do that to make it really straight as well? It's not the end of the world if they're not completely straight because as you weave it'll pull them together anyway.
Okay.
Now the weave you use depends, well it depends on how you feel, what you want to do. I'm going to do a 3x3 weave across. You can do a 2x2 weave but it'll use a little bit more wire.
Can I just ask you, are we creating this part of the...
Yes, we're doing that, creating that little bit.
Now I'm
there.
really interested in this because I've never seen how to do
that bit.
This kind of a weave.
Yeah.
It's so neat.
Well, just start wrapping, and we're doing a basic figure of 8. So you're passing it underneath the wire opposite and pushing it down. It might just start pulling out, pulling away from where you want to, and you use your fingernail just to keep it in place.
I noticed that actually you're using your hands and your fingers a lot with wire. I know Gemma Crow does that a lot, using your fingers. Some people work just with tools, other people work with their hands.
You're right, avoid it. I mean, if you don't want to damage your nails, you've got to be careful, but a little bit, just using your fingernails to push back is fine.
Okay.
2x2 to start with. just to help start off the weave, and then I'm just doing a 3 wraps round. And you see
so
how
3 on the one side, and then you're going to switch over to do 3 on the other side?
That's absolutely what I'm going to do. Can you see? And I've gone underneath, over that one, underneath that one, and it's a figure of 8 weave.
Oh my gosh.
And this gap, you can have it, and 3 down here, and you can have it like this gap with about 4 millimeters in between the 2 wires, or you can keep them very close together. It really is up to you how wide you want this ring shank. And it doesn't even matter if it varies as it goes through, because once you bend it round into shape, it becomes a feature. So don't worry about it if it goes a bit wonky on the way, because the ring isn't actually a straight round shank ring. Can you see how I'm doing it? You know, it actually curves round in the shape. It's not straight round.
Okay, so just to reiterate, we're going over 3 times
and back to the other, across the other side, over 3 times,
and then back to the other side. So you're 1, 2, 3 over. 1, 2, 3 over.
Yes.
I have to do it in a rhyme.
Jenny, you can do it 2 over. But
it's just what you've done
what you
here.
Feel like. And you can do 4. 2 will use a lot more wire, and you need to start with a longer.
Oh yeah, of course, because it'll be tighter. Yeah. So 3 you found for this design was the best way?
Was really nice, and because it provides a little bit of gap in between the wires, so you could actually, later on when you see we're securing through the shank, you need some of those gaps to be able to thread some wires through. So the 3x3 is excellent for that. If you want a tight weave and you're not that worried about that sort of thing, because you're not going to be anchoring at the top, you can use a 2x2.
I'm going to just copy exactly how you do it.
3x3.
That's a safe way.
Exactly, it will give you those spaces. Now
it's monkey see, monkey do here.
And then you can see how I've pushed that down. Keep pushing it down, and until you've reached. I've reached a length that is enough for your ring shape. Now,
so neat and tidy.
6 centimetres is about a N to O, and a 1 millimetre difference is the difference between the ring size. So once you start, once you start getting to the size that you feel that you want your ring to be, we'll start using the ring mandrel now. So we're going to move on to that one.
Yes, that's the point. If you've got the ring mandrel, please don't worry too much about ring sizes, because it will all be indicated on there.
This is absolutely fabulous.
Is it a must-have essential tool for you?
It's a really good quality tool. It's beautifully made. It's metal. It's long-lasting. You've got that. It's got all the ring sizes on and half sizes as well. Oh, it's just an absolute essential tool.
The details for that are on the bottom of your screen right now. We had not only the nylon pliers, but also of course, the ring mandrel. Now we are going to launch the next bundle, Rachel, if you're ready for me to do that, or we can come back to this in just a sec. Is that okay? Just because I want to get as much in as possible. Of course, Rachel has this bundle, and of course, she's used it in the most amazing way. Look at the ring in which, is this the same kind of technique that we're doing now,
It's exactly the same design, but you can see a different gemstone, different wire. This looks like space bubbles. It's absolutely beautiful. This
You're
hematite,
amazing.
I absolutely adore, actually.
I'm going to buy a ring from you.
And there's one made up in antique bronze as well. It all looks lovely. But the gold, look how much the gold brings out. There's the gold tones in the hematite. The hematite's slightly antique gold as well.
I love this new hematite. I absolutely adore it.
And it's got that vintage antique gold. You know, and they've got this lovely, is that garnet?
It's lovely, lovely garnet. Lovely, lovely garnet. So you're getting in this bundle the silver, the gold, and the mystic hematite, along with that beautiful garnet. Now these garnet rounds are just sumptuous. Have a look at the ring that Rachel's created from this bundle. Now you are also getting the 1 mil gold wire and the 0.4, which is what Rachel's using for the ring technique. I'm just showing you different versions of the same design. So by way of different versions, different coloured wire, different gemstones, same exact design. Let's have a look at the gemstones that you're getting again, and I'll talk to you about your dimensions, and then we'll get right on back to the genius that is Lady Norris. We have got 28 carats in your garnet. They're 3 mil. The silver coated hematite are 6 mil. 4 mil on the mystic, 6mm on the gold, and of course, as you know, 100 meters of each, the 1 and the 4mm wire. Gorgeous, aren't they?
They are. And the silver and the gold, I mean, oh, that's so beautiful. If you want to purchase this strand of gold, I've actually used it in a design coming out in a magazine in September, which has a design featuring that gemstone. So if you actually want to make that particular design,
and this is a great bundle to grab right now. Yeah. Grab it in anticipation. Now, if you're going to buy all of this individually, 56.7, that's actually really good, because I've got 2 reels of wire. That's a really good already on its own. But you know what? We're going even better. The wire alone is $42.90, but we're going to give you everything with 4 strands, and 1 including a birth gemstone that is, of course, the wonderful garnet. Everything for $49.95. Don't forget, when you're watching the masterclass, this is while stocks last. I can't guarantee stock, so you know what? Pick up the phone and dial 0800 644 655. It is in stock as I speak to you right now. Just keep trying. BGC21, of course, you can do this online, or the w's.jewellerymaker.com. Let's not waste another minute. I'm getting straight back on over to the lovely Rachel Norris.
I just wanted to show you some of the space age designs, though, that we can make with this
bundle.
Lovely, yes,
of course, with the garnet.
That's a very simple scrunching up technique that you could scrunch up the wire and then sew the gemstones through. That one is shown on the Fusion Gizmo, the Gizmo and Polymer K Fusion DVD. That technique's shown there. That shows off the garnet beautifully.
You've got to get that DVD then.
And this technique,
look at
if anyone knows how to wants to use this technique,
What's it called?
Tell them where it's was featured in a magazine in July, and I can direct them towards getting that tutorial.
Is it like a Roman kind of?
It's it was originally undersea necklace, but I just wanted something very modern and space age to show off this beautiful. And this technique, I think we'll do a masterclass on
this one. So watch this space. It's amazing. So beautiful pieces that you can create. You can create with this bundle. The code's there for you. Let's get back to the technique without further ado.
Right. First of all, I'm just going to keep that for later. I'm just starting to bend over this gemstone to start to form the ring. And first of all, I'm just going to start to make a little curve to start off. I'm just checking that I've got it the right way around, because you can do it in the mirror image, you see. You've got to be a bit careful, because otherwise I won't be able to.
I'm just trying on rings whilst you do that.
Sorry. There we are. And that way.
Sometimes you do things and you just forget.
Well, you can do it in the mirror image, so you can fold it round that way or that way when you make the ring.
Yes.
And I've done it all one way, otherwise I'll get confused myself, you see, otherwise. Now, depending on where you want to set your ring size, you can weave round until the weave reaches the little junction across where the wires cross each other.
Oh yes, I see.
And they would be ready to start little junction or whatever it is, little attachment. And that's the point where you're going to be able to use some of this wire to actually attach in and to start to secure the shank into place. And this is going to end up being an M to an N size, because you can make them slightly, they'll come up slightly bigger. If you actually sort of ram them onto the mandrel, that'll come up slightly bigger. Okay. So that's the length. And if you either want to go less, you just take your weave down. If you want to do more, you take your weave up a little bit more along these wires. So we can use this later on to shape the ring a bit better.
Yeah, it is essential, not just for sizing it, Rachel, but also for keeping that perfect shape.
Exactly, because as you're making it, you distort the wire and it'll come out of shape.
Yeah, it does.
This wire should be a lot longer than this. I've kept this short just to show this technique off a bit more easily.
So for purpose of demonstration, Rachel's cut the wire down a bit, and to save stabbing me in the eyes.
Yes, exactly. So I've slightly curved these wires away from each other, and this wire, which has come across from this 3x3, I'm taking it once round, okay, the wire that's nearest this part of the shank, and you pass the wire
so you're
up.
sewing.
I'm sewing, literally it is. I do a lot more of that sort of work now, where I'm just almost, this wire
just
is
sing
just
away
catching.
When you're I bet you do. This is the sort of thing that would make me go, la la la.
You have to have a clear mind. Wire always
so no singing?
and kinks, and no, you can sing, as long as you're happy. Wire doesn't like it if you're unhappy. If you're
cross and you try and do anything, it doesn't work right, does it?
And so I brought it round, and this weave. It's wonderful for catching wire in, for helping to secure it. So I'm pulling this round so it clicks, almost clicks in between the gaps in the wire, and then securing it once round. Okay, so you've almost done 3 wraps. I'm going to use the flat nose pliers just to squash these together a bit more, so they lie closely. Back around here, a couple of times, and then back through once around this, the wire that's nearest this other gemstone, pass it back up, and you can do one more wrap around if you like. So I'm just going to do that, and then we're going to, I'll just show you the next wrap up, and then we'll move on to the next stage. We're nearly on to the next stage, but not quite. Okay. Okay, I'm passing it through the gemstone, pull to click it in place, because it clicks in the little gaps between the weave. It's so good to work on a wire that's got weave onto it for
because
attachment.
It slots into place.
Yes, than if you work on bare wire. Okay. So back along to this one that's furthest away. 3 times round. 1, 2, 3, and over. Pass over. Yeah. 1, 2, and 3. And we're just going to move on to the next stage, because we're going to need to do the next stage up, and I've got a ring that's ready for that. Okay. She's a good one, this one, isn't she? Are you inspired? Don't forget that you can, of course, grab these strands while stocks are available, of course, for £49.95. That includes, of course, that price, 200 metres of wire, all this gorgeous hematite, and a beautiful strand of garnet to boot. And I'll show you the ring that Rachel's created from this fabulous bundle. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? She's a genius, this lady, I tell you. I just love the metallic colours in that bundle. It's Me too. I love that new hematite I'm in love with. Okie doke. So what stage are we at now? We've got 2 wires, and we're going to do something with this little wire and get rid of it. And I want to just show you how to attach a gemstone onto the shank, because this ring just takes lots of different techniques basically through it, and you can adapt them and make your own designs with it. That's the whole thing. If I can show you these techniques, and then you can use them to make any design. Like I said, I'm just going to copy you. I don't trust my own mind enough. You could weave 3 wires together, 4 wires, anything you like, and have a big octopus of little shapes to deal with. But as long as you know the techniques and you're comfortable with them. So what I've done, I've threaded one of the, is it Amazonite or Amazonite onto the little that one's jadeite. Sorry, yes. Oh, and then I haven't heard of that one before. No, we never. we hardly have jadeite. And then this comes in underneath the ring shank. Can you see? There we are. There we go. Sorry, brilliant. No, ring shank. And then I'm pulling up. I'm always like this, huddling over you. My hair is a complete hindrance. It's in the way, isn't it? It's fine. And then I'm pulling it up until it snaps into place. And adjust this little bead so that it's fairly central. And snaps into place, and then pulled it, and then I'm going to wrap this slightly in the way. Wrap this round a couple of times to show you a kind of bezel setting. It's like keeping it nice and strongly in place. Yes, I'm pulling and pulling. And then really? Now you have got tension. I can see the tension. Now that's important. It is, because you want that wrap in to go underneath the widest part of the gemstone, so it will hold itself in place. Okie dokes. Then I'm passing the wire back through, and we're going to start just to secure it in place. My hair. And then no, it's me too. I'm huddling over you because I'm so trying to look as closely as I can. Well, it's a little ring. It's a little ring masterclass. So it's a little ring, and we've got to see it in close up. And then I've pulled it in. I'm going to cut the wire, and we're going to tuck that wire in out of place. So we're going to work now with one piece of wire all the rest of the time. Big pliers, big pliers. There they are. The little pliers are great though, if you've got them for getting into small spaces. Yes, so they're really great for those little tiny, weeny gaps. Yes, if you've got these ones as well. Now, I've wrapped up this side of the wire a few times, and just so that it is about the same level as the Amazonite. Okay. I'm just going to start to secure. This is another wrap across to help secure this ring in place. It makes it stronger. We now got 2 points of anchorage here and here where they are secure. So back around, so wrap round. I just want to make sure that your wires, if they start crossing over each other, just loosen it and So you want that weave to still remain neat. I made that a while ago, actually. I made that a while ago.
I didn't think she'd notice. I tried on all the jewellery.
I made that a while ago, and luckily the same gemstone was in this strand, so you got it. It was all made up, ready.
You've got that lovely strand of quartz all-stars,
beautiful,
isn't it? I'm going to give you another bundle in a sec when Rachel's ready, because it's more gorgeous jewellery.
I'll start wrapping this round, so we're going to get ready to enclose the next gemstone.
Okay.
So I passed it back through another security, okay, and then you wrap round as quickly as you can to get to the next gemstone. I have got a stage I can move on to if you want to, but what I'll do, I'll just show you this.
I'll give everybody, because I am like a kid in a sweetie shop right now. I want to try everything on. It's like being in the best wardrobe with the most amazing shoes you've just got to put on. That's how I feel right now. The jewellery is wonderful.
The chance to wear all the jewellery you make. We just don't. I mean, you should wear.
You should send it to me then. I'd do it for you. Now have a look. I just want to show you. Isn't this amazing? Beautiful. It's catwalk. This is the sort of thing you see Beyonce wearing. It's amazing. Have a look.
The little flowers are just this sort of mini ones, are the ones in my Gizmo DVDs, and they're on roll wraps, so everything's roll wrapped in, basically.
I love it.
You know, you roll it like a head pin roll wrap, and so you just basically do that with wires behind, just to wrap everything in, to secure it. And if you want to, you can wire some gemstones in on the top. Some of the other beautiful gemstones in this bundle can sit on top of those little flowers if you wanted to.
I love these two colours together. And you've got the matching necklace here too. These, I mean, just outstanding. Outstanding. Like I said, Rachel gives you pieces of art that you can, it's not just jewelry, it's artwork, isn't it? It's just making a statement. So I'm going to give you, and look at this. Now this is obviously using the hammered technique. So using your chase hammer to flatten that wire a little bit, and you can, oh, I love it, it's just work hardened it. Now this is more angular, it's more modern, but it is also very classic. I've got, look at the ring.
See, I mean, the pearls are so lovely. Those little mini pearls are such lovely details. In rings like this, you can use them, and they catch the light beautifully. They're absolutely stunning. Beautiful quality little pearls they are. You can use them for so many different things.
They're just stunning, just stunning. And you've got the wire. The 0.4 wire.
Yes, the same gauge through the whole of the rings is 1 and 0.4.
Right.
I've used.
Okay. So what I'm going to give you is the gemstone. Oh, I love that, like musical notes. Let's try this one on. Isn't it lovely? I feel like a princess.
The copper goes so well with those peach gemstones. Absolutely beautiful. So I have used wider gauge copper for that one.
I love them. I love the colours. I love those pearls. Let's give you the strands. I want to be as quick as I can because I want to really concentrate more on Rachel. Let's have a look. 5 gorgeous strands. I love these together. If you want to create this kind of bracelet, maybe you've already got your wire. If not, buy one of our bundles and add this one to your order. These will cost you almost £40 separately. I have those beautiful peach shell plain rounds. They're 4mm. Your genuine cultured pearls 3x2, 6mm on your clear quartz, your citrine star cut rounds, and you've also got a bead, a brush bead, which is 9 carat gold on solid sterling silver, all for under £30. You get 3 of those all together. Yes. I've only got 1 here. Oh, because I've knocked them off. That's why. There we are. But you get 3 of those, the brushed Italian style beads. Now, without further ado, of course, we're going to get back to Rachel's technique. £29.95. Thank you. Now, so what stage are we at?
Now we've wrapped round.
I'm just going to, I just want to put this here so that we can keep reminding everybody exactly what we're creating.
We want to get from this stage, where I've wrapped around a little bit further on from that wrap across the other side, to this stage. Okay. So I've selected one of the gorgeous citrines, and I'm just threading it onto the wire. Just keep checking the 0.4mm wire. Just keep checking that you've got enough of a wrap round so that this fits across directly when you pull it back to exactly where you finished that wrap before. You see that? Yes. And then once round, and I am going to pass this back through the gemstone. I use gemstones that have got enough of a hole to take 2.4 wires going through. Okay. If they're pearls and they don't, you can either use a reamer or you can pass the wire underneath them, and it'll be all right.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Okay.
But basically, I want to end up on the other side of this. I've got myself in a bit of a pickle. I want to end on the other side of this so I can carry on the wrap on this side. So again, pull to secure. If this starts kinking, just make sure you put your finger in there just to stop it kinking, and I pulled and snapped it into place. And that is now at the same stage as this one now. And you continue to wrap round. I'm going to move on to the next one, which shows the wrap round to the next level, okay? So I'm just keeping on wrapping round. All right, so I'm just going to pick up the next one. Those are all I've done. And I've wrapped round enough so that we can actually secure this to the next bit of wire.
Okay.
So, yeah, we just basically gone around and I've threaded this through, and caught it around both of these wires here, which I've shaped, and then I can pull and snap that into place. And the beauty about this ring is we're just using it with one piece of wire.
Okay.
So we're going to move on to the next wrap round. And wrap round. Okay, we're doing well. And then keep on wrapping round until we get to the next stage. We're going to add in another gemstone. So basically you're just creating these frames. I'm wrapping around, using my fingernail to push in. If your fingernails you don't want to risk damage, just use your pliers or your nylon pliers just to push this back in.
Okay.
But the less you handle the wire, the better, to be honest, and you keep that colour on the wire.
Okay.
So I'm just going to check I've got the next stage.
And I'm going to just refresh your memory on exactly what we're creating. Have a look while Rachel does that.
I'm just going to wind round.
Isn't it beautiful? So flowing. And you know, those gemstones just seem to float, which I love. You can't really see the elements of what's keeping them there. And the eye is drawn mainly to the design rather than the mechanics of the ring. So what stage are we at now?
I've wrapped round. With this one, I've wrapped round enough to trap a little fluorite. And with the fluorite, I have just trapped it. I did this so I could remember what I was doing. Trapped it along this. I've gone back through, wrapped around, and then back through the gemstone. Exactly the same technique we used to trap that one.
Okie dokes.
Okay, and then pull that back.
So same technique, different size gemstone, same shape.
Exactly. You can play around and just do whatever you like. And you can see this is just kinked a little bit. Basically, if you put something round, like a finger, in that,
and give it a curve,
give it a bit of a curve, it'll go back in a bit more easily. There,
okay.
And it's gone back in nicely. Okay, so that was quite a good technique to show somebody how to sort that bit out.
Because that will happen. It happens to everybody, doesn't it?
It always happens. And then we keep on wrapping, and we need to get to a point where we can get this onto, you've noticed I've trimmed these wires down as well, now, so a little bit more manageable. You want to keep them so you've got about 2 more inches at least on the wire. Push that round so it's nice and secure. And then what we're going to do is get to a point where we're going to secure this through the shank a couple of times. So secure this through the shank. There we are, and then we can just, if we find a little gap.
You're amazing.
This is why the 3x3 is so good, because you can just find a little gap. I'm going to have to do this quickly because we're on air, and normally spend a bit of time trying to find one as close to that wrap as possible. Okay, but today I'm just going to literally find the first one I've got just to bring it in.
Okay.
And round, and I haven't, you see. Sorry about this.
No, gosh.
Bring it through, and I've been really lazy and gone for one a bit further away, but really spend a bit of time getting one through the nearest part to that wire that you can. Okay, I'm going to hide these with the little gemstones. Bend that round, up, around once. You can go through again if you really want to. You want to keep this secure, and then we're going to pass back. The whole point of this design is to use one piece of wire in a continuous flowing, movement through the piece. Yeah. And we're now going to add some little gemstones on to actually start to fill up the middle. You see, it's coming together quite quickly now.
Do you know what? I was just about to say that. You make it look so easy.
I've done a bit. I've made these rings a few times, as you can see now, and it becomes quicker each time. Actually, you make
I'm sure, because you're not having to stop and think, right, where now? No. You just think you know where you're going.
Bring that across, and we're starting to wrap around this other piece of
Keeping that neatness, keeping that tension, pushing them in together, because that's what makes the finished piece. If you can keep that tension, if you can keep them together, if you can keep it neat, the result looks like Rachel Norris's result.
So what I've done is I've created that, I've got to that point actually the same in both rings. So I can either move on to the next stage or, what I've done is I've wrapped along. You need to wrap along all the way along this piece until you get to this point here.
Okay.
Okay. So
we can just show that to Tom.
Okay.
Go,
all the way along. And we're getting to the point where we can attach through this ring shank here.
Okie dokes.
Okay. Also what I've done here is trim that down. I might just show you that trimming down just to shape it, if you don't mind.
No, that's fine. We've got 10 minutes, so we can...
So with the other ring, I've wrapped along further on this piece, but you've got this piece to finish off and make a shape with.
It's sticking out. What do I do?
So we take it down to about 2 centimetres. Let's give us 2 centimetres of wrap of a little coil.
Okay.
Okay, about that maybe.
And you're just simply going to coil it?
Just going to simply coil it. It's a lovely way of finishing off a piece. To be honest, it's well, it's a staple, isn't it, of our techniques. So use the end of the round nose pliers. Now this is interesting because I thought, well, we're not quite getting the curl we want. So we make a little curl, and this curl isn't quite circular.
It's more of a hook.
Yes, so I'm going to cut a bit off, just a tiny bit, off.
That'll teach it.
And then that makes that end a bit more curly.
Yes.
And that'll spiral in a lot more easily, neatly into a circle, just to take that end off. Otherwise you'll end up with a slightly uneven...
You end up fighting it, trying to get it
into circle, yeah.
Because that's what I would do. I'd be like, you will coil.
Yes, and that makes a really nice little circle. Squash down with the flat nose pliers, just to squash it down, and you shape it into place. And the whole of this ring is shape it into place around your finger.
Shape, yeah.
Now, what I've done, we're going to move straight onto this one, which is effectively this one, just with a bit further on that I was talking about earlier. And we're going to secure through this ring shank here. Again, find a little gap. This is why the 3x3 weave is so perfect, because you've got a little gap. And start...
You and I. It's my fault, because I keep having to move Rachel, because I'm like this. What is she doing? And then we're both like...
And then back up, and you can, to be honest, just spend a bit of time. Again, I'm going to be lazy and bring it round here. I wouldn't, if you can try and find another gap through the ring shank, please do.
You still get that amazing result, Rachel.
And then I'm back through, and then we're going to bring up this last, we're nearly at the end actually. We've got 2 more little bits to do. We're going to shape this end and then fill the rest of the gap in between. So really nearly there. But you can see, my goodness, this ring pattern, this ring design,
coming together.
Yeah, you can do so many different things. Again, cutting to about 2 centimetres in length. The designs and opportunities with different gemstones are endless with this.
We've seen so many different gemstones today, and you've got examples of the same design using those different gemstones, and it looks wonderful. Different shapes, different sizes, different colours. They're fabulous.
Everything. Want to suit delicate people who want delicate designs. Again, cutting a little curl off the end, curling round, and that really has a beautiful little curl that curls in much more beautifully.
So curling in. Your jewellery is... I'm going to give you Rachel's DVD in just a tickle.
And then the last thing we're doing is bringing this wire through, last bit of wire that we've got. We're just going to fill up the gap a little bit more. Okay. It doesn't matter where you bring it through actually, just fill up the gap with a few more gemstones. I'll just do that very quickly. You can use some of the beautiful metallic beads that we've got on, the little 3mm beads I saw for sale the other day. Absolutely beautiful for filling up these little spaces. And also you've got these perfect little gemstone sizes in this bundle. I mean, oh my goodness, you've got 3mm, you've got 4mm gemstones.
It's perfect, isn't it, to have that variation? How much wire, incidentally, do you think you use to make one of these rings?
It was 20 to 30 centimetres, 20 to 30 centimetres of 1mm wire. About 2 metres, I'm overdoing it a bit, it's about 1.5 to 2 metres of the 0.4mm wire. And that's
200 metres.
Yeah, exactly. Think how many rings you can make from these bundles. Oh my goodness.
Pound signs in my eyes if I
and then all I've done is thread on another couple, so it fills it up, that space, And what we're going to do is just tuck this in somewhere and wrap in and tuck in, and we're finished. There we go. So just pulling that in, you can see, and it secures in beautifully. And just find a spot where you can wrap around and secure in. There we are. So that's it, Jenny.
You are amazing. Now I want to just show you. I've just seen a few sneaky designs on the side, and I just want to whet your appetite a little bit more with some of Rachel's outstanding pieces. Can I show everybody these prong set rings?
Oh my goodness!
Oh
yes.
my gosh! You're amazing. Look at
That's a bit messy. I'm really sorry about that one.
What are you talking about?
Don't go in too close on that one.
Seriously, she's insane. Now you can take this weave
That's
like
an
just Claire. You can,
that is that beautiful amethyst.
Wow isn't even the word. Ed just went, wow. I mean, you. Look at this. This is like the ring Disney princess style ring, isn't it?
It is, and it wears so nicely, actually. It's comfortable. That weave, you think, oh, is it going to be uncomfortable on your finger? It's actually quite nice.
You're amazing.
It actually lets the air through because you've got that weave. You've got that air. Oh, last thing you've got to do is shape that ring shank, Jenny. Just make sure you shape it, and shape it with your fingers. Shape the ring shank like that around the mandrel, so it's nice and circular.
I've seen a green one that I've got to have. Look at this. This is my favourite. Look at this black one. Oh, you're just amazing. That's one of the spinels again. We had the really gems
big
of distinction.
Yes, we've got a lot of those gemstones being sold now. Those gemstone strands, and with that one, I made a little bit of a mistake in setting the prong setting quite high. I leave a bigger gap in between the ring shank here, so you can bring the gemstone down lower now. And so
so you've readapted the same design in this one?
Yes, in this one. That was one of the first ones I made.
Well, I like that. I think that's very modern.
It is, but you can actually have less of a proud ring if you bring that down a little bit into.
You're amazing.
And with a gap in the ring shank underneath.
This green one, I've been looking at this. I'm thinking I need it.
The gemstones from the same sort of design. Again, you can be with this copper one. I've used 3 strands. 2 strands, and just had 3 coming off. So I love the way you've made. Yeah, it's different. It's not so much wrapping. The whole point is you can play around with the designs with the wires that you've got, and as long as you know the anchoring technique between the 2 parts of the shank, you can use that between a weave round. And anchor them, and then you can just arrange your gemstones however you like. Adapting the technique that Rachel has just shown us. Now, I have examples of lots of jewellery. Now, Rachel, I was just talking to you about the DVD. The particular one in the middle. I'm going to give you the DVD in just a tickle. This one, have you ever got any of our gems of distinction strands? Rachel's saying how important they are for actually creating the most beautiful clusters. Now, can you see? That needs a bit of movement, doesn't it? I mean, it is such a red carpet. Now this is, honestly... In the DVD I show you how to do the invisible setting for that, you see, Jenny. So, and because those clusters just seem to be there. I don't see the mechanics. And the gems of distinction shown and sold on JM are beautiful for using this sort of technique. So you can use them to actually be the centre of flowers like this, and they work so well. They're little pear-shaped gems of distinction strands you can use to make these sort of pieces with. I've always thought that they were incredibly beautiful. Now, you are just a genius. I'm going to give you the DVD in a sec. Have a look at this. Now, imagine getting married and wearing something like this. And it's just the fact you don't have to make a huge necklace, you can just make one piece, and you can scale this rose down as well if you like, to make really small little pieces, just individual buttonholes or brooches. This is on a tiara, isn't it? I think it's just wonderful. Dragonfly. This is such a cute pendant. This is kind of your little signature, this dragonfly, isn't it? It is one of the first little animals that I made, apart from birds and things. And that's also showing, I show the twist technique in the DVD, and you can also use that twist technique to make up bracelets and things like that. I call this the Roman goddess. One that you do. I'm always putting that necklace on. I don't know if you ever watch, and I'm always like, Roman goddess, I love it. It's such a beautiful, beautiful piece of jewellery. Now you'll also note that Rachel makes her own findings at a gizmo work. There is a DVD
in which you can pick up that very technique. Rachel Norris's Wirework Masterclass, Edition 1, The Beauty of Nature. Now this DVD is going to be your new best friend if you want to advance your jewellery making. Now you have got, how long on this DVD? Do you know, is it over an hour?
It's 2 hours.
Wow.
Because we actually did 8 hours of filming to try and capture everything, and we've edited it down to 2 hours, and it took a long time to do that, but we're trying to get as much detail on there as possible, and if there's any elements which you feel you need a little bit of help on, I'm there on Facebook, so please message me and I will do my very best. I've already helped up some ladies already with little stages of the technique, and I'm there to help them. So
we can find you. How do we search for you on Facebook,
Rachel Norris, JM guest designer Rachel Norris.
Okay, and we can get through to you that way.
Yes.
Also, if you haven't sort of quite grasped that, if you are liking our page on Facebook, Rachel does often comment on things, so you can just click on her name.
Yes, and find me, and then I will be there if you need any advice or help with techniques at all. I'm there to help. You've
got lots of things on YouTube as well that you can download. Look at Jewellery Maker. This show, of course, will be on YouTube and on our website to download. Now, finally, I just want to show you one of the most amazing pieces of jewellery, and this is actually the one on the front of the DVD.
It is, yes.
I just don't even, I can't even begin to allow my mind to even think how you've done this, but it is outstandingly beautiful. And just to repeat that Rachel's designs have, of course, been displayed in the Victoria and Albert Museum. She's had TV programs made about her designs, and you know, just a true inspiration to all of us jewellery makers out there, and not just that, an artist. And so if you do want to be inspired by Rachel, do pick up the bundles that we've given you today. Do make sure you download this masterclass and just get designing. I want to see your pieces on our wall of fame. Yes. Now, I'm going to give you a quick reminder of everything that's come in today's show so far, and I'm going to start with the tools that you got. Your nylon jewel pliers and your ring mandrel, both essentials for creating with wire, to prevent the tarnishing of your wire, to manipulate the wire in a safe and comfortable way. A Jewellery Maker specific tool are those nylon pliers, as is the ring mandrel, of course. For $9.95, you've got an amazing price tag for essential tools. Rachel has said the ring mandrel is wonderful quality. It's perfectly designed for its need.
It's absolutely essential tool to make if you want to grade your ring sizes properly, and it's such good quality. You won't, I mean, the prices elsewhere, if you try to get something like this, you just couldn't get it for that price. It's amazing value.
So pick it up. I mean, if Rachel has it, it's good enough for me. I need it. DYGC88 is your item code. So make sure you grab, sorry, C08 is your item code. So make sure you grab yours. What it is while stocks last when we're giving you these masterclasses. And don't forget also, you can, of course, ring our call centre and ask when the next Rachel Norris tutorial is. Ask for Kirsty, 0800 644 655. Now, don't forget that all the strands that we were using today are available as bundles. We gave you that wonderful Quartz All-Star bundle. We gave you the lovely hematite bundle as well. And you've got the gemstones. Both, the first bundle I gave you included 200 meters of silver wire. The second one with the hematite, 200 meters of the gold wire. So while stocks last, the ring designs I'm going to show you again that can be done. All different gemstones and different wires, same technique. They can be done. And this is the ring. When you end up, you'll see the ring here that we created today. Just beautiful. Now, Rachel, you are running tutorials, are you, with us here at Jewellery Maker, or you will be imminently?
I'm going to concentrate actually on trying to get another DVD out. That would be really nice. So that's what I'd like to do. So that's what we're really working on, is trying to go for edition 2. It'll take me a few months, so everyone be a bit patient, but I will definitely. I'll be working on it.
We'll let you get into your little zone. We'll leave you alone for a couple of months, and then we'll be ready. We'll already have mastered the ring, so we'll be ready in a couple of months for a new technique. So watch this space for the next wonderful Rachel Norris DVD. All of these photographs of Rachel's jewellery are available to view on our Facebook page, so click to like. You can also follow us on Twitter. We are at @Jewellery_Maker. So get interactive with us always. We really appreciate your feedback, and I can't wait to see your designs when you send them in to us on the Wall of Fame. Thank you so much to Rachel. You were a real inspiration to all us jewellery makers out there. Get designing, get your bundles, and make sure you let us see what you've designed. We'll see you later.